I'm still trying to figure out how I ended up here on the stage sitting next to the AD from Baylor and the Director of Division III for the NCAA, but I guess every good team needs a singles hitter or someone to lead off, so that's my job today, to set the stage. Nick, thanks. As far as background, again, I started in sports information as the assistant SID at Mount St. Mary. After about a year, I was promoted to the SID role. Eventually moved on to another Division III school in New Jersey, Stevens Institute of Technology, where I was the assistant AD for over 7 years, and then certainly had the opportunity about a year or so ago to take over as the AD at Arcadia University, which is just north of Philly. This morning, Ian and I were chatting about the session to start the day, where the athletic directors of Division I schools were talking about the portion of their job that they might not have felt that they would spend so much time on, and I certainly, in my first year as an AD, didn't really think that I'd be spending as much time on sports info as I did. And I think that the reason I have really speaks to the importance of it and what it means to our department. We had some staff turnover, and the night before our very first game in the fall, our SID left, so we started the year without one and had to navigate the first 5-6 weeks, of the year without an SID. We're fortunate enough to hire Dan Gruss, who's part of the CoSIDA board, to join us, to come from Division I to join us at Arcadia. And it turned out to be a pretty busy year as we rebranded the department, launched a new athletics logo. We're a small Division III school with 17 varsity sports. We probably have about 50 different athletics logos that we're circulating out there for quite some time early on until Dan was able to come in and streamline things. We launched a new logo, which turned into redoing our gym floor, putting a new logo there. A whole host of different projects that we undertook this year, including a new athletics website. So I appreciate his efforts, and it was good to get back in the fire a little bit and to sort of recall some of my days many moons ago at Mount St. Mary and at Stevens. I was asked to talk a little bit about communication, collaboration, a couple things I want to highlight there. We'll hit on them briefly. I guess the whole point is to leave some time at the end, so certainly if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But in terms of communication and collaboration, I think it's important for the SID to set up specific times where you can get together with the AD and you can determine how often that meeting needs to occur. Dan and I did it quite regularly this year since we were both new and we have a lot of things going on. But it's good to be able to get on the same page, to be able to make sure that if there's any underlying concerns, you can address them. I think specifically for us, it was about figuring out where we were and where we wanted to go. We really wanted to ramp up our sports information coverage, and we were able to kind of chart a path. With that being said, we really looked at our limitations in terms of whether it's equipment, technology, personnel. We took some time to figure out what would work best for us now and start talking about the future and the steps we would need to take. Incremental as they may be, and certainly the steps that make us more viable in media relations and sports information as the years went by. We also, at our school, spend a lot of time meeting with our student athletes at the end of each season, getting feedback from them on key aspects of the department, strength and conditioning, coaching, facilities. Sports information is part of that as well. And it gives us a lot of good feedback, a lot of insights into what goes through the minds of student athletes. We were able to get a lot of good data. Dan and I were able to digest that and figure out what's going to work well for us as we continue to adjust and continue to streamline our efforts moving forward. In terms of communication, I also think that it's key that the SID contributes regularly at staff meetings. I know that for Dan, it was good for him this year to kind of talk to our coaches, educate them about some of our limitations in terms of staffing. And sometimes coaches operate in a little bit of a silo and don't realize that decisions that they make have other ramifications within the department. And being able to educate them that having multiple venues and games going on at the same time, or staggering games just a little bit, could work out better for him in terms of coverage, work out better in terms of student staffing. It proved valuable in those meetings to kind of break down some of those walls and create a more uniform department, a lot more collaboration, and really make us do a better job as we work throughout the year. And I also think it's key for SIDs to have collaboration across the campus. For us, that means working with the academic side. I think it's always good, specifically at a school like ours, to show the value of academics and athletics, and to be able to work with the faculty, the deans, to identify students that can be workers for us, that can get internships, paid, unpaid, whatever the case may be. Give journalism majors an opportunity to write, give some people chances to do work in social media, marketing, promotion. It's it's just good, it's good for us to not operate. I talked about coaches operating a silo. We as a department don't want to operate a silo as well. We really want to bridge that gap and connect well across campus. And that extends to university relations, some of you know, certainly departments of our communications, marketing, alumni affairs, as we do work on our Athletics Hall of Fame and a whole host of different projects. So those are all good things that we've been able to work on, and I think that are important to recognize in the field. And the last topic I was asked to touch on is the relationship with SAC, and I think specifically with that, it's good for the SID to get in front of the student athletes, at least the student leaders, as regularly as possible, whether that's once a year or once a semester, whatever works best for the schedule. Just to clarify roles, I think it's unrealistic to expect that student athletes know what an SID does, especially off the bat, freshmen. So be able to get in front of them, explain that you do more than just write stories, that you do more than just handle the website. And I think that will help break down some barriers. You get some good information out of them in terms of ways to connect and to relate to the student population generally, a way to get people out to games. You can find student workers in those forums where you can talk about your needs and your current limitations and ways that students can gain valuable work experience and certainly help the department out. I have a variety of other things I can certainly talk about. I'll leave time. I'll give my colleagues an opportunity to talk as well, and I'm sure we'll revisit in a few moments.
Good. Well, thank you for being